All right. Well, today I'm working on, it's a Cub Cadet LT1050, I believe, and pretty nice tractor. I believe it has a 25 horse or 26 horsepower Kohler, I believe. We'll take a look once we look at it. But with this one, the guy brought it in. He's saying that it's starting to burn a lot of oil, and you know, he can see some smoke come out when he's cranking it up, and every time he has to fill it with gas, well, he's got to check the oil too, so it's burning some gas. When he cranked it up, it sounded pretty loud. There was some loud popping. It sounded like coming out of the muffler. But we'll take a look. But well, let me show you what I got here. So there she blows, the LT1050. It's actually a pretty nice tractor, pretty big. You know, you can see it's a garden tractor. It has the, I always say it's a garden tractor when I see the the lug nuts on the tire. Don't know what transaxle's on that. I'll have to look it up. It's probably a pretty beefy one. Yeah, Kohler Command 26. Whew. Yeah, it needs a little cleaning, don't it? That's probably the first thing I'm going to do. Just trying to clean this sucker up a little bit. You can see it definitely has a lot of heavy use on it. This guy, he works on a ranch, and so it probably does a lot of work. I don't know how many hours is on it. Let's see. Really? 138? Is that it? Well, I was expecting quite a bit more. But, well, let's crank it up and see what it sounds like. Let me see if I can hold this camera and crank it at the same time. Let's see, here's the choke. Brake is on. See how loud that son of a gun is. Definitely sounds like some popping, doesn't it? And you can see all the white smoke, that puff of white smoke when I first cranked it up. So my guess is, at first, I hope it's, you know, he was hoping it's not going to be a piston ring problem or anything like that. But if he says if it needs it, we'll do it. But first thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to check the head gaskets and the valve clearances. You know what I mean? So it might need a valve job, you know, that maybe that's where the popping's coming from, and the head gaskets. And I hope that's going to be it. But first things first, I am going to clean this sucker up. Make it a little easier to work on, you know what I mean? I guess I'm going to spray the engine down first. And I'm using that super clean again. Can't say enough about this stuff. It really does the job. I'll get the engine first while all this is soaking in, because you're not supposed to let it dry up. Fumes, wow. Yeah, be careful on that. You can tell it's some strong stuff. The fumes will knock you out. I'm gonna have to get some more. I'm running out. But I'm just gonna get a hose and hose this sucker down. Then I'll clean the rest of it a little later. I just want to at least get this engine started and take the hood off and all that good stuff. It's looking 100% better already. Yeah, I have to say that Super Clean does the job, man. Look at that sucker. But anyway, I'll be back when it's a little drier. Alright, well, I think I am ready to start taking all this stuff apart. And like I said, I'm just going to take covers off right now. We'll take this off, all the main stuff here, so we can take a look at stuff. You know, before I even go any further, just out of curiosity, I think I'm going to take the valve covers off and see if those gaps are just way off or what, you know? Let's get you over here. All right, let's see. All right, can you see that? Go ahead and take the spark plugs out. Yeah, so isn't that interesting? This one was on this side. Looks like it's been burning like it should. But now look at that one. It's still a little wet, and look at all the carbon buildup, all the sludge on it off of that side. So there's definitely something going on. Right now I should be able to turn it. Let me get it to top dead center. Right there. Wow, those are pretty tight. I'm going to go ahead and take this other cover off, and we'll see what that looks like. Well, I checked the rods. They're not bent or anything. So let me turn this side so it'll be top dead center. One more time around. There we go. Yeah, both sides, they're really tight. Let me go look up the specs and see what these gaps should be. Alright, so I went and I'd forgotten these are hydraulic valves. There's no adjustments on them, so at least I got to check the rods. And what I want to do, because there's obviously something going on, you can see the difference on the spark plugs. I guess I could put these valve covers back on and do a compression test on each side and see if this side's blown or vice versa. Alright, let's do this side first. If I can lean over and get this sucker in there. Alright, I don't know if you can see that. Alright, let's see what she does. Well, it's already at 75, so. It's showing about just under 125. Now let's check this side. I don't know if you can see that again. Well, they're both around 125. I wonder if, let's check for spark. I'm wondering if maybe this side with the gunked up carburetor, maybe it's not firing, you know. Alright, I'm going to use my little tester here. Let's test that joker. If you can see that, let's see if we see a spark. That looked like it had some spark. Alright, that plug is on. Let's hang this here. Well, let's see. I didn't see any there for a second. Let me get a different angle. Did you see anything? No, it's got spark. So, what do you think? I'm going to crank it up one more time so we can listen to it. So you can see there was a lot of it coming out of the carburetor. Down here at the bottom, it was just all the oil that spilled on the exhaust pipes there when I took the valve cover off. But yeah, it looked like it was coming out of the carburetor. And just for kicks, I think I'm going to fire it off of one cylinder and see what each cylinder sounds like. You know, I'll leave that one connected on this try, and then I'll flip them, connect this one, and vice versa. See what it sounds like. That side actually sounded okay, didn't it? Let's see what that side sounds like. Exhaust coming out of that side. Let's see if it does the same. Alright, so this side is connected and there's no exhaust coming out of the carburetor. But when I'm running it on this cylinder alone, that's when we see the exhaust. So I think it's a head gasket on this side. Alright, so I'm going to have to order a head gasket. I might as well do the set, right? But you can see when I was running on this cylinder alone, that's when the exhaust, you can see it coming out of the carburetor. With this side running alone, it was actually running clean. So, okay, just wanted to double and triple test. So let me order some head gaskets and I'll come back in when we're ready to put them on. Alright, so I'm going to do this side first. I'm going to go ahead and take all the housings off and get all this stuff out of the way. take the valve cover off, take these skins off. Hopefully they'll come off pretty easy. And then unbolt the intake and the exhaust. Alright, so this side's off. I haven't done that one yet. I'm going to bring this over to top dead center and take the head off. Alright, so I'm going to use a pipe and get some leverage here. That always makes me paranoid, it makes me cringe. Hopefully I'm not going to break the bolt off in there, you know. Alright. Here we go. Alright, this one is not cooperating. I'm probably going to have to take the rockers off. What size is that? 8mm? Yeah. There we go. Just making sure they're the same lengths to keep track of them. Good, same lengths. And got something else we got to take off here. What is it? Okay, well that was a pain. So I had to drop the muffler, take this off, the pipe off, so I can reach this bolt that was holding up on the bottom. So this thing has been kind of tough to get off, needless to say. And just all these brackets here are tied into the head cover. Makes it hard to take off, but it's sturdy. I gotta give them that. The thing's rock solid, but it sure is a pain to work on. Alright, so all that's there. Those two bolts. There we go. Now let's take a look at the gasket. Yeah, a little bit. See it down here? Is my knee in the way? I can see all the cracks and everything down here. Well, alright, I hope that's it. That sure looks like it. And the valves, this one doesn't look like it's seating all the way, so alright, so let me get the other side off also, and we'll take these over, get them all cleaned up, see if we have to lap these valves, and we'll put us a new head gasket on. Alright, so I got them both off. I started to clean this one. This is the left side or if you're facing the engine, the front, it's on the right, but I just call it the left side from a driver's perspective. And you remember we saw where it was, the gasket was starting to come apart down here at the bottom, and it looks like it's doing the same thing on this one. Maybe not as bad, but you can see where it was starting to leak out. They were about both in the same condition. This one had a lot more carbon deposits on it, and I was trying to compare the valves. This one looked like it wasn't seating that well. It was down in there, but you know, I think they could use a little valve job. So I'll continue cleaning these off, and get these gaskets ready to replace. Alright, so you can see I've already put that one all back together, and it's just putting them all on just like I took it off, right? So I'm gonna got the new head gasket for it, got it all cleaned off, plus I have the gaskets for the intake and the exhaust, and I'll slip those on there too. So the biggest thing is when I was putting this on, especially on the other side, you see all the brackets that let's see, where'd it go? This way. So you just got to line everything up, right? Kind of a pain in the butt, but when I lined them up on that side, I made sure that these are going to be around the same area as I tighten those down, so it'll make it a little easier. And if I have to, then you go under there and loosen them up a tiny bit so you can jiggle everything around. Yeah, and that's probably about it. Just gonna put these suckers on, and we'll give it a test crank and make sure it's not blowing exhaust out of the carb again. Which way it goes, right? There we go. I like to do them by hand, just so I get a feel for it, you know. Let me get my, I'm going to torque these down. Let me go get my torque wrench. Alright, well, it's all put together except for the air cleaner, because I think I'm going to clean out the carburetor next. But I just want to crank it up and make sure there's no exhaust coming out of the carburetor like it was before. Oh, let's see. say that got rid of, yeah, this is the only smoke I see is when the oil dripped down. Sure is a loud sounding gun, ain't it? I don't think the muffler here has any internals left, no baffling. It sure is loud. But yeah, so it runs better with the choke slightly on, so I'm gonna clean that carburetor out. Yeah, so the big thing is we got the head gaskets replaced, cleaned off everything, checked out the valves, and at least we got rid of all the exhaust coming out of the carburetor like it was. So it shouldn't be burning any oil anymore. That was the main thing. But before I give it back to the guy, yeah, I'm going to take this carburetor off and clean it out, and it should be running pretty good. I guess that's it for this video. If you want to see the carburetor cleaned, you know, I think I'll do that on a separate video. I know this one's kind of long. The guy will be pretty pleased. He said it was burning quite a bit of oil actually, but we'll stress test it and see what happens. So I guess that's it for this video. Just once again, you know, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next video.